Hello, Libra. Welcome to your Spiritual Revolution guidance reading for the month of Leo. Okay, so the month of Leo runs from July 22nd until August 22nd, and we are saying goodbye to Cancer season, which to me really felt like, well, towards the end of Cancer season anyway, with the new moon, kind of the eye of the storm. Like everything was really hectic and chaotic in the first part of the year, and then it kind of felt like we took a pause. We're able to breathe a little bit. That could have had something to do with Mercury retrograde as well. But now moving into Leo season, it's like, okay, the storm is picking up again. And this is kicking off with even today, right now. So as I'm recording this, it is July 19th. It is the basket alignment that you may or may not have been hearing about. I've recorded 2 videos on it. Go check those out because they're going to be relevant. And there's a lot happening during Leo season. First off, on July 23rd, Mercury is stationing direct, so the retrograde is over, and saying, "Hey, you guys, it's time to get back to work." Okay, the break is over. Break time is over. But we need to remember that we still have Pluto and Neptune in retrograde, and during Leo season, Saturn and Chiron will also be retrograding. So this summer, the rest of the summer, we're going to have 4 luminaries in retrograde. So it's still a time to reflect and think about all of the things that have been happening this year, because it's a lot and we're still processing and integrating it. But Mercury is saying, hey guys, it's really time to get going again, because, we have the full moon in Aquarius on July 29th. We have the new moon solar eclipse on August 12th. So yes, Leo season is bringing eclipse season as well. So we know that the energy is going to get chaotic and transformative, and big things are coming. We also have 3 of the personal planets, so Venus, Mercury, and Mars, are shifting into new signs. So that's going to bring in some refreshed energy. And then finally on August 18th, the nodes are shifting into new signs. So the North Node and South Node have been sitting in Pisces and Virgo for the past 18 months, and they'll be moving into Aquarius for the North Node, Leo for the South Node, bringing another shift in the direction of humanity and the collective consciousness. So a lot going on this Leo season. So let's see what your messages are, Libra. Oh, hey. Oh. First of all, is it hot in here? The summer is spicy because the chakra that you are being asked to connect with is your sacral chakra and sexuality. So we have openness, sharing, beauty, and honor. So Libra, I love this for you because actually, like, Venus is going to be moving into your sign. Venus is moving into Libra. So perhaps that's where this is coming from, but you're really being asked to connect to that sacral, sexual energy, whatever that might mean for you. And it's summer, so it's hot. Get in your bikini, get in your Speedo, go down to the beach if you can, or just be outside and receive those solar codes and really, feel free with your energy a little bit. But let's balance that, because the other overarching energy you have for Leo season is risk. So we have Saturn in Aries, and, knowing that with creative sacral energy, that there are risks as well. And by opening ourselves up, we don't want to open ourselves up too much to dark energies or influences that don't have our best interest at heart. And Saturn in Aries, well, Saturn is in Aries right now and it's going to be retrograding. So maybe this is asking you to reflect on the areas of your life where you have put yourself at risk, or where you have engaged in behaviors that are perhaps, not in line with your highest path. And, or perhaps it could be the opposite, because we're retrograde, and it could be asking, where do you need to take more risks in your life? I'm a Sagittarius rising personally, so I think that risk taking is part of the spice of life, and no risk, no reward type of thing. So perhaps it's asking you to be a little bit more free and not so cautious, and to take more risk. So that's exciting, potentially. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what really comes up. We're going to get into the details of this reading, which the spiritual revolution guidance reading. So these readings are for anyone who knows that we, humanity, are in a spiritual war, and the dark forces are really trying to prevent the light forces from rising and unifying and bringing forward this new age, this new earth. And if you're here and you're receiving these messages, it's because your higher self, your spirit guides, your higher power has messages that you need to receive. And so we're going to dive in. Just calm down here a second, and see what these messages are for you in a little bit more detail, and why sexuality and risk are both coming up. Okay. And I'm using a new deck for this month. I'm using the In-Between Tarot. And the way that it works is we're reading the energy of the card itself, but then also the card that comes next. And so the imagery and the symbols and the messages are kind of blending from one moment into the next, understanding that energy is not static, that it is fluid. And I like that message too, right? Knowing that what we do in this present moment will impact and influence the next moment, and that becomes the present moment. Like, we're always in the present moment, affecting the next moment, which it becomes the present, and there is no division, there's no separation between moment to moment. So let's see what this deck brings up for you. Ooh, okay. First of all, it's interesting. We have all major arcana. So what you are doing, it feels like, is going to have a greater impact on the collective, on humanity. That the work that you're doing, even though it may be very personal and individual, what's coming through is that it has a ripple effect, and you are, in fact, affecting the collective consciousness of all humanity. So, no pressure there. But what is the background energy that you're bringing into Leo season? So we have strength, the strength card, which flows into the Hermit. So the strength card, this is a Leo card. This is a Leo season card. So Libra, and I always feel like, Leo and Libra energy, these are sextile energies. They really flow harmoniously with one another. And strength, you have really been called over the past few months to tap into your inner strength. There's been a lot happening in the world, and you are an incredibly connected sign to the collective consciousness. Libra is justice, is fairness, is the balance of the world, and things have been feeling pretty unbalanced. There's a lot of chaos and darkness, and you have been called to bring the strength, to bring the light, to hold a lot of space for the people around you, but also for humanity energetically. And the strength flowing into the Hermit also is encouraging you to take care of yourself. So I want to ask, have you been doing that? Have you been making sure that you're strong for others, but also strong for yourself, and taking time to set yourself apart, to protect your energy, to connect with your higher self, your guides, and to really understand that, yes, we are all connected and we're all part of the collective. However, you need to take care of yourself as an individual as well. And sometimes that means setting boundaries, whether that's energetically or physically. Like, actually, I'm not saying you need to move into a cave, into the mountains and leave society behind, but sometimes we need to do that even in an energetic kind of way. And it feels like maybe you have been balancing this and you've been bringing this forward, or there's a call to say, hey, you need to look at this balance a little bit, because you've really been embodying this strength that has been needed to hold space for everyone, people around you as well, like in your family, your friends, your community. A lot of people look to you because you have this balanced approach to life and you can see the other side, and people come to you for advice and they tend to offload on you. Make sure you're not holding on to it and that it is unbalancing you in the process. Okay. So, this energy that you're being called to embody and express during Leo season is death. So we have the death card, which flows into temperance. And death is, it's not scary. This is change. You are being asked to change, to embrace change, I think, moving into the eclipse season, this is a time of death and rebirth, of transformation, of leaving behind everything that is no longer serving us and moving forward with only that is in alignment with our highest path, and leading into temperance, which is really about balance, which is what I was talking about with the strength and the hermit, being strong for others, but also for yourself, and setting these energetic boundaries. So it feels like that's very aligned, where by changing things in your life and really being honest about, okay, what needs to change? What have I been holding on to that is no longer serving me? And how do I really remove that? I think you've been doing a lot of reflecting on this year, and you may even have a list of the things that you're looking to change. And now is really the time. You're being called to be open to what the possibilities look like when your life becomes more balanced. But in order for it to become balanced, there are things that you need to release. So be honest with yourself. What are those things? Okay. You're gonna find it out. You're gonna find out this month. And I want to go back to both of these cards here for a second. When we're thinking about this death and rebirth and these changes, is what ignites your sacral, what brings this openness, sharing, beauty, and honor. Like, how are you really honoring this very human and beautiful aspect of yourself, of what really ignites your passion and brings this like indulgent kind of feeling? Like, it's not a bad thing. That's part of the balance of life, and we're meant to embrace these physical aspects, while understanding that it comes with risk, and sometimes we need to take more risks in our lives, especially when we're looking at what we need to change, because we can get caught in these cycles of comfort, of safety and security, and feeling like, well, it has to be this way because it's how it's always been, or this is what has kept me safe. This is what has kept me in this protected state. But has it really, I would ask, or is it leading to an imbalance where you are giving too much? Because Libra, we know that you have this tendency to give more than you're getting, and like this people pleasing behaviors, which it's not a bad thing. Like, you definitely want to be there for the people in your lives, but make sure that you're not over giving. Okay. So what needs to change? And then by the end of Leo season, so the outcome, the energy that you're going to be experiencing then is the Hangman. And the Hangman leads to death. That's the next card. So the Hangman is really about looking at things from a different perspective. And towards the end of Leo season, through this work that you've been doing, it feels like you are going to have a clearer vision. And by removing some of these things either off of your plate or out of your sphere, then you will you'll tap into what else needs to change. Okay, I've done those changes, and you know what? It wasn't that bad. Though the world didn't end, it actually felt really good and affected the people in your life in a different way, right? Because as we take care of ourselves, then we're more equipped to take care of the people around us. And I think, by making these changes, you're going to see how this positively affects your life, and it's going to give you a different perspective and more confidence and more encouragement to make more changes, like maybe the bigger changes in your life. And you're going to reflect on that, and then that's what's leading the hanged man back to death. So more changes to come, and understanding that, I think no risk, no reward. I think that is definitely coming through for you. So let's get a final message for you, Libra, and see what your guides want you to know as we wrap up this reading. And okay, I want to say one last thing actually on these 3 cards, because like I was saying, these are all major arcana. So as you are working through this and you are making these changes and you are setting boundaries and changing your life, there's this ripple effect, right? And this is going to, I think, encourage other people in your life. They're going to see the things that you're doing, and they're going to want to make these positive changes in their life as well. It's going to make them feel like this is more accessible and not as scary. And then, there's like that continuing ripple effect where you are affecting your community, and then that ripples out to affect like the greater community, and so on and so forth. But also by putting this into your mind and the people around you, it affects the collective consciousness. Like we all share a collective intelligence, and I like to call it the mycelium network of humanity, where we are constantly sharing information through unseen rivers of connection. And that's what I believe that you are doing since these came up as major arcana. And so your final message is full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. So whatever your personal issue may be, it feels like by going through these changes, it's really going to help you to come to the end of the cycle. And I think I mentioned that before, but also whatever has been cropping up, like this issue in your life, it will, by making these changes, come to a completion, a resolution. And it will be a very emotionally fulfilling resolution. Like everyone involved is going to feel like, oh, this was the right choice. This is how it should have been. It feels right. It makes sense. Everyone is leaving with a sense of fulfillment. Like, yes, all the ends are tied up in a pretty bow, and nothing is left unsaid. Nothing is left unresolved. And I think that that's also going to give you more confidence to make these changes moving forward. And so whatever personal issue it is, I offer you my sincerest blessings and thoughts and prayers. And I'm excited for you, because the end of a cycle is always a new beginning. And I think, that's really one of the themes that's coming through in your reading, is that by going through these little deaths, these changes, these transformations, you are renewing yourself and your spirit. And I'm very excited for you. So I hope something in this resonated. Drop me a comment below. If it did, like the video as well. That really helps the channel. And remember that this is a general reading. So if you want to go deeper in a personal reading, I'll put the link to book in the description. And just thank you so much for being here with me. There's a lot of changes that are coming up in Leo season, and I hope you're feeling prepared. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for being here with me this month, and I'll see you in the next one.